Hey everybody, it's Scott Steen with winnersandwhiners.com coming to you with the Monday MLB edition of Today in Sports Betting. Taking a look at every game on the card today, Scott. Every single game. Scott Reichel, everybody.
How's it going?
Hey. You ready? You strapped in? You eat some snacks? You
Every
hydrate? You ready to go
every
all the way
game.
through this Major League Baseball card today?
Yeah, every game. What's it going to take? Like 2 hours?
Oh, at least.
There are three
We got
games on the card, by the way.
3 games today, buddy. Let's kick it off. We'll go with the early game, and the two of them are on the West Coast, so it's going to be light on MLB action tomorrow evening, Scott. I hope you like Miami Boston
My favorite.
because that's a 5:10 Eastern start.
Yep. Really, really random time there.
That is you're just messing with me now.
I am kind of curious if the start time is going to be a problem for Boston because they did play Sunday Night Baseball in Yankee Stadium. It's not like a day game, but I'm
Right.
assuming they're probably going to travel right around now.
Sure.
I don't even know if they landed in Boston yet, so that's not exactly a fun turnaround.
No, that's more difficult than it has to be when you've given 24 teams the day off, and one of them isn't the team that played on Sunday night. You're kind of scratching your head, going, really?
Well, it is a makeup game, so they were supposed to have a day off, but they had a game canceled.
Well, there you go. Okay, well, let's take a look at it, shall we, Scott? It is Boston sending Nick Pivetta, your personal favorite, to the mound against one of my personal favorites. I love this Miami staff, as you guys know. Pablo Lopez is going up against Nick Pivetta. Scott, we're getting the fish at plus 135. Reel me in. I'm on the fish. No,
I am not. Just looking at Lopez, I know he's been good this year. Miami has not been very good lately. They did piece together a couple of wins late against Pittsburgh. Good for them, I guess. You beat Pittsburgh a couple of times, but it was pretty ugly. It seemed like the Marlins, for about 4 straight days last week, just invented ways to blow leads in like the 8th inning.
By the way, Scott, they put together one good game against.
It was one good game. Sorry,
yeah, I had them. I had them today to break their 8-game.
They had a couple of games where I feel like Miami should have won 5 in a row, but they keep blowing leads in the 8th inning.
Yes, they lost on Saturday night 8-7.
Yeah, and they were winning, and they blew it, and they went to extras, and the whole thing was nuts. But anyway, you're looking at the Marlins, and this team's not very good on the road. There's also a team that's really not good at hitting. Lopez is good at pitching, but Boston just swept the Yankees for the first time in Yankee Stadium since 2011, which sounds almost impossible. It's been 10 years since the Red Sox actually swept the Yankees in Yankee Stadium. But as a Yankees fan, I was actually kind of happy about it because I got money on Tampa and Boston to win the division. So, yeah, that ship sailed for my Yankee fandom. But looking at this matchup here, Pivetta still gets a bunch of run support, but that did not happen in his last start, so maybe you're getting a bit of regression to the mean. Weather's going to be very, very friendly to the over. 92 degrees with the wind blowing out double digits. Should be a pretty nice environment there for the over.
Get it up in the jet stream, boys.
Yeah, and we know Pavetta's not very good. We also know Fenway Park's pretty good for overs because of the monster, which is, I don't know how far away it is, but you got a couple.
No one knows.
No one really knows, but it might not be 300. So you might get a couple of home runs in there that maybe you don't deserve to have. But either way, I'm going to look towards the Red Sox. I just think this team's in better form. Miami, I can get the value with Lopez, and I can understand that, but maybe that's a first 5 play.
Yeah.
This Miami bullpen has blown so many leads in the last week. I want absolutely nothing to do with this team for a full game.
Yeah, they held on yesterday for me, but they've been pretty awful before that. And they're a dreadful road team. They're 12-21 on the road. And they're especially bad when the total's 8 or 8.5. They're 4-12. So I can't, as much as I like Pablo Lopez, I can't get involved with the fish here.
My advice is that if you actually like the Marlins, maybe look at a team total. You should get a decent price with the wind and the good weather. I do think there's a good chance that they could probably push 4.
Can we get 4?
I think they could. I'm not a big – then again, you said Pivetta is my guy, but that's just a pure joke based on the run support. So I don't think he's very good. Boston burned down most of their bullpen yesterday in the extra inning game against the Yankees. You might see a couple of C-plus relievers, maybe a D-. But with the Red Sox being favored by that much, I do think Miami could end up having a pretty good game. Plus, if you're looking at the team total here, the Marlins team total is over 3.5 at minus 129 on DraftKings. It's pretty tempting to me.
Yeah, Pivetta his he gets a lot of run support, like you said, but he also gives up a ton of runs. Scott, in his 11 starts, he has thrown he has gone scoreless just twice, and he's funny story. He's never given up just one. 0 twice, and then 2 or more in the other 9. So
we talked about Boston's bullpen. They burned a decent amount of them yesterday. I think that even though Miami's offense is very tough to get behind, and when I say very tough, I mean very tough because they're awful.
They're not good.
I think it's a good spot for them to potentially score some runs if you like them to win the game. I just think Boston's going to win. I know it's not exactly a great spot. I mentioned that just kind of playing devil's advocate, but they're the better team. I just think they'll win the game.
Yep, I agree. It's a little too rich to lay that price.
Yeah, but I think you would agree that if you like Miami, probably play the first 5, just fade Pivetta and hope.
Yeah, that'd be your only shot that the Fish might have a 3-2 lead or something in the fifth before.
For the record, by the way, I actually am a fan of this on DraftKings. In addition to having first 5 lines and money lines, they have a 3-way, so it's not including the tie. Marlins to lead after 5 with of course a tie being a loss in your case, plus 148. It's not bad.
Don't hate it. I think Lopez will give you. I think he'll give you 5 innings, 2 runs.
And then the wheels might fall off with the bullpen, but we'll see.
Certainly possible. All right, Scott. Moving out west. How about some Kansas City Royals and the Los Angeles Angels? Jackson Kowar, Scott, University of Florida pitcher, drafted in 2018, part of a impressive pitching draft for the Kansas City Royals. He's the 4th member of that 2018 draft to make his debut this year. It's only the 3rd time in Major League history that's happened. So, is he good, Scott? You know anything about this kid?
Well, his minor league numbers have been very good over the past year. 5-0 with a sub-1 ERA in AAA. That's pretty good. Now, of course, we have to ask the question, what does that mean? Because AAA batters are in AAA for a reason. So I don't exactly know what that means, but he probably has good stuff.
The story on him is a nice 4-seamer, throws it hard. He can throw it in the upper 90s. He has a plus change, about 83, 84 miles an hour, drops off the table, and it looks like a left-hander slider. It kind of backs up on him, so it's a nasty pitch to either righties or lefties. Problem is, for a starter, Scott, he really doesn't have a third pitch. He's been working on a curveball. Allegedly, it's getting there. I'd be surprised to see him throw more than 5 curves in the course of this start.
I know you also mentioned to me before we went on air that he has an issue with his command a little bit every now and then.
He's not a ton, but in minors he's walked about a batter every 3 innings, about 3 three walks per 9, and that's going to translate probably to 4.3, 4.5 at the major league level because those guys have that much better of an eye. So I think, to me, I still have to play the Royals here. I still have to fade Bundy, Scott.
Yeah, you mentioned one end of the equation. We didn't even start talking about.
That's right. I get we're Royals fans. We don't have much else, so we have to talk about how good some pitchers might be someday.
Remember when Bundy was good last year?
Yeah.
What happened?
He regressed, Scott. He regressed.
He's putting together like an Alex Cobb Baltimore type season where he might be on pace for like 18 losses.
Yeah, and the thing about it is he pitched okay over his first 5 starts. I think he had a 4.0 ERA. He kind of
which is sturdy. It's fine.
He's scuffling, and then he just has been absolutely lit up over his last 4 games. 9+ ERA, and that's taken his ERA on the year to like 6.5. It ain't going in the right direction, as they say, Scott.
Plus, you look at his home ERA, it's roughly 8. So he's even worse at Angels Stadium. Nobody on that team can pitch besides Ohtani. It's really crazy how they invest so much money into hitters. Like you pay Rendon, it's like a Justin Upton, Pujols contract you had, and they just have no pitching staff ever. And the bullpen's almost as bad as the rotation.
Yeah, they're a dreadful bullpen.
But I have a play today on that one. On a team total, but for the actual game there, How is a Bundy laying 130? Kansas City's actually been good lately.
A rookie. They're scoring some runs. They had won 5 straight before dropping the last 2 one-run games to the Twins.
Now, I know it's a rookie, and I know that you can say, well, he might get shelled. And my argument is, so might Bundy.
Yeah.
So if you're talking about a situation where both teams might score a lot of runs, and we know the Royals' bullpen's better than the Angels' bullpen, why would I not take the Royals? So the Angels are good at home.
You're getting plus money on the Royals. You've got another rookie lined up to piggyback with him, unless they put Santana in. It's going to either be Bonanno or Santana that is going to piggyback with Coar most likely. But I think, Scott, you've just got to take the value here. You've got to take the team that's a little bit hotter, got a team that's stroking the ball a little bit better. I think you've got to take the Royals at plus money. And if you want an adventurous game where I'm sure there's going to be times you think you are absolutely beat, no chance will you win, and you're probably a couple times you think you're absolutely locked in and not a possibility of losing, and it's probably going to be a roller coaster. So hang on to your hats. If you want to pass, I wouldn't be mad at you, but there's some creative plays you can come up on your own involving the totals. But if you're going to take a side, I got the Royals here at plus money.
Yeah, well, I already mentioned that I have a team total play today. I can honestly just say it. I like the Royals team total over.
That's solid.
I think Bundy's terrible. But
solid play.
If you don't have team totals for some reason, you still have a book that's been based on like 1990. You can go with an over 8.5. I think both these teams have questionable situations at the starting pitcher spot, and you should probably see a decent amount of fireworks with the wind blowing out in Angel Stadium.
Shots fired, Scott.
Am I wrong? Don't get me wrong, the rookie might be good, but you kind of got to see.
No, I'm talking about your comment about the books.
Oh, if you
want to bet this game, but your book sucks. If you don't have team totals in your book for baseball, you got to stop using Windows 97. That's all I'm saying. Like you gotta adapt. Like you gotta figure it out, man. Get rid of your dial-up. That's what the man's saying.
Am I wrong? Because I feel like team totals should be everywhere at this point.
I agree. I do. I definitely agree. Same with first 5 plays.
Yeah. Well, first 5, I have really not seen a book that Bet Online's close, but FanDuel doesn't really have a great first 5 section. I know DraftKings doesn't. The best I've ever seen was 5 Dimes, but that book completely went under.
PointsBet as first 3 and first 5.
Okay, so I've never really experimented with PointsBet, but I remember 5 Dimes was the best I've seen for first 5, but of course that's not really around anymore for U.S. people. So BetOnline's what I normally use for first 5.
5 Dimes used to be a good weekend for me, Scott. Some people will get it. I don't expect you to. It's all
I heard you'll be here all week.
Yeah, I'll be here. Tip your waiters, would you please? Please, everybody. Scott, can I interest you in a little Chicago Cubs, San Diego Padres, coming from one of the best cities as far as weather goes in the world, San Diego.
Can I say no?
I'm going to pass on that game.
Instead, am I interested? Can I say no?
What else you got?
Well, you're looking at the actual matchup since we got to talk about it. I'm not going to go into minor league games.
We promise we cover every game.
Yeah, you have the Cubs and you have the Padres. Padres have been a pretty streaky team this season, kind of like most teams in the NL West, where it seems like most teams at the top will win 8 in a row and then lose 6 in a row.
Yeah, you thought the Giants were out of it. You think the Dodgers are going to make their move? Nope.
They're just all boomeranging back and forth. But San Diego has been really struggling for the last couple of games. It's also kind of interesting because these teams just played each other earlier last week, and the Cubs ended up sweeping the Padres there in Wrigley. Then the Padres responded by splitting a 4-game series with the Mets. Faced DeGrom, I believe that was Saturday. And, of course, they scored no runs because DeGrom is a sick human being because he's just the best pitcher I've seen in probably a long time. But anyway, I digress. The point is now you have the Cubs, who have actually been playing pretty well lately. I mentioned how they swept San Diego. They did not exactly fare too well in San Francisco. But this Cubs team, which we
not the first one to have that happen to.
Yeah, we kind of thought that the Cubs were going to struggle this season. That has not really been the case. They are currently tied for first place with Milwaukee, who's been surging, but they have won 4 of the last 7, so they're kind of been in and out. But you're looking at the situation where both pitchers have a couple of question marks. You have Alzolay on the mound for the Cubs, who was awful to start the year, gotten better, and his whip is .91, so he's kind of gotten that under control. Meanwhile,
Stormy Weathers.
Yeah, you have Stormy Ryan Weathers on the mound here for the Padres, 2.06 ERA, .99 WHIP. So he's been pretty good too. I know the wind's blowing out and it's in Petco. You have any thoughts on this one? I feel like this game can go either way.
Oh, that is quite a statement right there.
It's a hot take. I think either the Cubs or the Padres will win this game.
Whoever scores the most has a great chance to come away with the victory here.
First glance, I mentioned how good the pitchers were. I'm looking at the over, just because Weathers just faced the Cubs. 5 innings, 4 runs, didn't exactly pitch that well in the process. Alzolay did pitch well. He's been pretty sharp in the last couple of outings. I guess I'd lean Cubs in the money line because I'd just fade San Diego right now at all costs. But I do think that total for 7.5 might be a little bit too low because of the weather and the fact that the Cubs have been hitting the ball pretty well lately. But if you don't want to take it, it makes sense because you saw Alzolay pitch well against San Diego in his last start. But I guess Cubs are pass. Do you want to back San Diego into the loss like 6 of 8?
Play the under. I'm gonna go the other way. This is a San Diego team that's just really struggling to score runs. They've scored just 2.3 runs in the last 7 games. Weathers has pitched very, very well. The only hiccup he had was against the Cubs when he gave up 4 runs. I would probably go first 5 under here because what the problem with Weathers, he don't go long.
Yeah, they both don't. They both go about 5, but I don't know. I think the main issue I had with the under was the fact that I try to fade pitchers who are facing the same team for the second time in the span of about a week. He usually makes adjustments.
I'd like to go the opposite. I like to go however that other game didn't go. If they mowed them down, I like the other team to do a little better. If that team got to them, I think the pitcher does better the next time. So I like to go the opposite way.
Okay, fair enough. But I just think 7.5 is a little too low. But I guess on the side, I'll take plus money with the Cubs.
Yeah, I agree. This is a good San Diego team, but the Cubs are, like I said, starting to hit the ball, and they're happy for summer to be here. They're happy to see 90 degrees. So yep. I'm with you there. So as always, guys, if you're looking for information on these games or any others, psych, there are no others. We did them all. So we did the 2 basketball, we did the 3 baseball. So under normal circumstances, you should check out winnersandwhiners.com. Deep dives and predictions into every game, every day, always free. So for me, for Scott Reichel, for the rest of the team at Winners and Winers, wish you guys nothing but the best. Hope every one of those tickets in your pocket turns into cash money when you head back to the window. Everybody, let's start it off well here on Monday. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time on Today in Sports Betting. Take care, everybody. Click.